Hey guys, what's going on? Okay, so we are finally back out here at the range again, and I alluded a little bit on Instagram that I got a box from CZ. Or I didn't really get them from CZ, but it's a CZ product that I got. Okay, and before I talk about that, what it actually is, obviously it's a firearm. We all know that. And I've been looking at this particular item for a little while, basically as not a substitute, but a new home defense firearm, okay? Because as I've talked about before, I think a little bit, I've been using a AR-15 SBR, so 7.5 inch AR-15 suppressed for my home defense gun, and it's a good gun. There's nothing wrong with it in the world. It's got a great trigger, shoots exactly where it needs to shoot. It's a very, very good gun for what it's for. Only, I mean, except for like one major caveat, and that's going to be the fact that it's still a 7.5 inch gun. Even with a suppressor, it's very loud. Okay, and whereas I mean, if you shoot a gun, you probably want your neighbors to hear it so somebody can call the cops and all that kind of stuff. But then again, you don't want to blow everybody's ears out, including yours or your kids or your wife or whoever else happens to be in the house, unless it's a bad guy, whatever. You don't really want to blow their ears out. So been looking for something to fill that niche of being a good maximum like 35-yard shot, because if it's past that, you're gonna have a hard time in court explaining why you're shooting people that far away. And in your house, my house, there's no real areas where it's that long of a distance anyway. So as long as it can be a hard-hitting projectile at 35 yards, and if I can have it suppressed to where it's quiet enough to be able to use in a house and not blow your ears out, then that would be a major positive. So I'm sure some of y'all have probably guessed what was in the box because it was about the right size. It's obviously not a conventional pistol, but it is a pistol, and it is the CZ Scorpion. Nearly dropped it. The Scorpion Evo 3. Okay, and another big thing is, since the ATF did their whole thing on the brace and saying it's legal, no, it's not legal. Now it is legal. Whatever, whether it's legal or not, and whatever their opinion happens to be at the time, I went ahead and got the brace. And that's one other reason why I like this particular brace, and the way that it looks on this the CZ, is because it looks like a stinking the word's gonna escape me, almost like a G36 kind of style, where it's that, this comes from the Czech Republic, but like the European, I think the Germans made the G36, but it has that submachine gun kind of look to it, and I mean, for all intents and purposes, you can use this as a stock. But then again, I mean, there's a bunch of pros and cons. I'm starting to kind of go off on a rabbit trail, but I'll go down this rabbit trail. Some of the pros and cons to keeping this thing as a pistol and not SBRing it, which is what I have on the actual SBR that I run right now, is that technically when you go to a different state, you've got to file paperwork saying we're bringing this gun, this, you know, registered NFA item through your state or whatever, and it's just a hassle and a big stinking deal for nothing. Or you could have something like this, which if this was an SBR, then the makeup of this brace or stock, whatever you want to call it, would be a little bit different. Everything from here forward would be the exact same. Okay, and then what's also cool about this is that since it is still a pistol, and as far as I know, every state that will issue you a concealed carry permit, this is a pistol, so you can keep it loaded, keep it in your car. And there's some states that won't allow you to have a loaded rifle in your car. So if it was an SBR, even though it's, you know, legal and all that kind of stuff to have it, technically it's a rifle, so you can't have it loaded in your car. So there's a bunch of, people call it loopholes or whatever you want to call it, but I would prefer to keep this, I would prefer to keep this as a pistol, even though it's the same size as what an SBR would be, just simply for the legal facts that you can keep it loaded in your car and there's no issues with that at all. So basically, that was the pros to it. The cons, the only con I have so far, and I haven't even shot this thing yet, but the only cons I have so far is light placement, and this is I forget the exact name, I don't know, XIPHOS, Xenof, or whatever, Night Ops. Anyway, they make this sight, or not this sight, but this light, and I ran it on my Glock 22 when I was a cop for a while, and it worked. And the only reason I had it was because the Black Hawk holsters that we ran, the Serpa holsters, is the only light that would fit in those. Now they have different holsters, so you can have different lights. but that's the only reason I have this particular light, and it's the only one that kind of works on how the ergonomics of this pistol are, because you have the charging handle like on an MP5 on the side, and if you put the light, I had it up there for a while, if you put it up here where your thumb would be able to actuate it, your charging handle kind of gets in the way. So when you go to charge it, you know, it just didn't work out very well. And then the way that the little switch is on here, you kind of see maybe it's offset a little bit to one side, and that's just a marketing thing by, I think, a marketing thing by Blackhawk and Night Ops, whoever makes this light, and that's why it was on there at an angle so that only this light could fit those holsters, which is really stupid, but is what it is. So when you put that on this side of the gun, the little actuator was off a little bit. So I may end up getting an Enforce light, because you could put it on this side and it doesn't have the buttons on top, it would just have the straightforward button to push. But that's basically the only thing that's different. That's basically the only major downside of this rifle, or pistol as it were. And then some people complain about the safety itself when you have it pushed down under the fire. When your hand is on here, it really, and I can see why people talk about it a lot, it kind of digs into your finger a little bit, okay? It's a weird placement. I don't know why they did that. I really don't know. But you can buy a safety delete button, and I'm sure a lot of y'all know about that. But it basically just removes this little piece here. Not the whole safety, obviously, but just that piece that digs into your finger. So I may end up getting one of those. But other than that, I really like how it feels, how it functions, and how it looks. So we're going to go ahead and shoot it. Like I said, I think before, I haven't shot this thing yet. I did go ahead and switch out the muzzle device. It comes, I forget the thread pitch and stuff, but it's got a very large, or round, whatever thread. I can't remember what thread. It's a weird threading. But then underneath that, it has a 1/2x28 threading, which is nice because now I can put my Yankee Hill brake on here and be able to use my suppressor. This is what we talked about before. So we'll go ahead and we'll shoot this and we'll see what we can do. Alright, I tried to move y'all out of the sun a little bit. We're going to go ahead and shoot it without the suppressor. So if there is any issue at all with any bullets hitting the brake, I'm not going to blow my suppressor off the gun right off. Alright, so it came with two 20-round mags, and then I was able to get three 30-round mags, and they're about $18 a piece, so it's not cheap. But compared to like the CZ, or not CZ, the SIG, was it their MPX? Those things are way more expensive, I think. From last time I checked, they were. Anyway, so that's one thing I noticed too. If you have it on safe and you go to charge it, it don't want to charge. Put it on fire, and you charge it. All right, so the first shots. Here we go. Hopefully the thing doesn't blow up. Functioning fine, and I can definitely tell what people are saying. And I only shot a little bit, and you can kind of see where that piece is kind of digging into my finger. Oh well, okay. So I bought this thing to be suppressed, so let's go ahead and suppress it. And what we were shooting there was Freedom Munition 147 grains, and these are I believe these are going subsonic. Okay. Oh, that's smoothed out. I believe they're going subsonic, and I have some of their Hush line ammunition, and so that will be interesting as well to shoot too. But this is not their Hush ammunition. It may be subsonic, I don't know. All right, so this is suppressed. See if it changes impact, and see if we blow our can up and we all die. See if we got any baffle strikes. Doesn't look like it. We look like we're good to go. Okay. And then you can do the cool MP5 thing where you slap it. I don't know. So we shouldn't need these anymore, because it should be quiet enough. dot back up. It still has a loud noise, but it's definitely safe hearing. Okay, so there we go. I was wondering about how this is going to work. So on the last round, the charging handle doesn't come back. Okay, so it's a non-reciprocating charging handle, which is good because it's not going to be smacking your thumb. Okay, it does hold open on the last round. Okay, and so this is what some people were talking about, of why it was kind of funny that, or not funny. Some people thought it wasn't such a great idea to have 2 ways to lock the bolt back. Because right now it's back, right, and you can push the bolt release down here, or you can lock it open. Okay, and whenever the gun goes dry, it just holds it open. And some people thought it was weird. I don't know what's so weird about it, because now you can just hit the button. I don't know. Some people are different. They have different ideas. All right. Oh, that's cool. So you can hear the, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. I'll show you what you're shooting at. We're going to shoot down there at the 100. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. But try, I don't know if the camera will pick, or if the audio will pick it up. Listen to see if you can hear the thump when it hits the dirt down there. It takes it like a full second to get there. Anyway. So that is very satisfying. Okay, and that, my ears aren't ringing at all, and that was with the 147 grain stuff. And so now, we do have some 147 Hush. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I have some regular 147. Oop, that's not. The top one's not. Alright, so this is some regular 147. 1 round of that, and then followed up by 147 Hush. Okay, so we'll see if there's any difference between their regular 147 and their 147 Hush. I don't know. I think there's like a definitely some velocity differences, but we'll see about the tone and the sound and all that stuff. So we'll shoot it out there into the dirt. I really can't tell much of a difference there. That is crazy though. I know you're supposed to have your glasses on, but I'm trying to see my hits. That's just crazy. And that's the Hush. Well, that's kind of good that the Hush is not necessarily as any louder or quieter than the other stuff, because the other stuff is pretty much cheaper. I like cheap. That's one reason the 9mm is pretty nice, because it's a lot cheaper. I don't know. For some reason, that 75-yard target is pretty hard to hit. If you look out here on the, you can see it. Somewhere over here. I don't know if you can see it. There's a 25-yard, a 50-yard, and that 75 is like, I can't ever hit it. I don't know. And then again, I haven't ever shot this thing before either, so it's not necessarily sighted in. It's just kind of cool that it's kind of shooting where it needs to shoot anyway. All right, so that was 147 Hush. All right, and now we just have a little bit. I'm not going to shoot it all because I'm going to try to save some of it for later. But this is 165 Hush. So this should be the quietest stuff. I know it's the quietest stuff that I have, but I don't know. I'm not going to say things that I don't know. Okay, but it is definitely the quietest stuff that I have. It's supposed to be. So we'll shoot it off into the dirt first. Oh yeah. That is definitely quieter. That is definitely quieter. And we'll shoot a, turn you this way so you can see. We'll shoot the steel. Okay, definitely way. And I've seen some people. All right. So even just the sound of the bolt going home, and then when you shoot it, there's definitely a difference there, but it's definitely, if you could definitely shoot this in your house and not have any major side effects at all. And it still hits with a lot of authority. So I'm gonna save those for later because I don't want to shoot all my good super quiet stuff. We'll switch back here to this 147. So again, this is the first shot's going to be the quiet 165 stuff, and then the 147s. So you can definitely tell the difference there. All right, so first impressions with this gun have been very, very good. I will say I'm glad I spent money on it, and I'm glad I have it. With it being unsuppressed, it's just a 9mm. To me, it's just a 9mm carbine that you could run around and shoot with, and it's fun and all that kind of stuff. But whenever you go to suppress it, really makes me glad that I got this particular suppressor that can do this. And then it changes the complete aspect of what you actually do with this gun, and what you can do with it. You know, I said that twice. Sorry. But using it for a home defense gun, I really think I'm going to be switching to this. Some people might balk at that and say you need to keep with your AR-15 or, you know, run a shotgun or whatever. And, you know, it is what it is. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, for sure. And my opinion so far is that it shoots exactly what I want to shoot it at. All right, I can practice with it a lot cheaper than I can with my ARs, even though I shoot my ARs a lot. Shooting a 9mm is very soft and easy to shoot. All right, so my wife would be able to shoot it when it comes time. My kids would be able to shoot it, you know, without any kind of issue like that. Being able to run the quiet stuff, the 168 grain Freedom Munition Hush ammo, that stuff is quiet. It has a different sound than just the regular 115 grain stuff that cracks and is loud and barks and all that kind of stuff. It has more of a whoosh. It has a different noise to it. It's a substantially quieter noise, in my opinion. I'm even shooting under a covered shooting stand, so it's gonna reverb the sound a little bit more, and it's still very comfortable to shoot, and I have no issues with it, even with the 115 stuff. So I really like it. I might be doing some other kind of videos on it, but this is just my opinion on it. The only things I'm gonna change are, like I said before, I'm gonna hopefully be changing out the light, because this light in and of itself is okay. It's not ideal. It's a very short range pistol light, and I want to be able to identify stuff. I don't want to shoot my kids when they try to go pee at night. I want to see who I'm shooting at. And then the safety delete, I may end up doing that because I kind of saw what people were saying whenever I was just fiddling around with it. But when you actually get to shooting it, it really does, for whatever reason, that design is weird. It digs into your fingers. So I may end up getting that delete and just fixing that a little bit. And then the optic, this is the Bushnell TRS-25, and it works. I've done reviews on that before. No big deal with it. It's just a budget optic. Kind of. I would expect more from them because it's about a $50 on a really good sale. It's about a $70 optic on a regular sale. And I would expect it to last longer. Like I did on those videos before, it only lasts between a couple weeks and 3 months. If you leave it on and you don't pick up your rifle for a week, I wouldn't want to have to pick this up and not have the dot on. So I'm going to be switching it out since this will be my primary gun, I'm going to be switching it out for the Holliston that I have on my SBR and be able to run that on here, because that's basically an indefinite light, or an indefinite red dot. It's not really going to go out unless you keep it in complete darkness, and the battery just keeps going on for a couple years and then it'll burn out or whatever. But I really like that optic. I'm going to run it on here. The only reason I didn't put it on here is I forgot to bring the little piece that goes underneath it, because this does not need a riser. The way that this is all conformed and everything, when you go and you put it up to your eye, you do not need a riser at all. You could put one on here, but then you wouldn't be able to co-witness, and I don't really care so much about co-witnessing, but it is kind of nice to have it co-witnessed. But when I get back home, I'll put that on there, or I'll wait till next time I come out and then I can have it sighted in. But even sighting it in, I made a couple little adjustments here and there, but I was shooting exactly what I wanted to be shooting at. I mean, I don't know if you'll really be able to see. I didn't shoot paper. I was just shooting steel. And you can kind of see, I mean, most of them are center mass shots. I was shooting the guy in the head, no problem. Shooting the little silhouettes, no problem. Shooting the little dueling tree, no problem. If I started going real fast, then yeah, I'd throw some shots. I never hit the 100-yard target. I shot it a few times, but never hit it. And again, like I said before, I'm not going to be shooting this thing in a real-life situation out that far. I think I've measured my house, and I think the furthest possible shot was like, I think it was 20 yards maybe, or 15 yards. It was nothing. So these kind of distances are very practical, and in reality, it's what you're going to be using it for. So anyway, easy. Enough ramp. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Just kind of a breakdown of why I decided to go ahead. I'll move this because you're in the sun, you can't see my face. I know y'all want to see my face. Alright, but anyway, yeah, a breakdown of why I got the CZ. I really do like it. I really am enjoying it so far. This is the first time I've had it out shooting it. First time I've actually even held or shot any of these things, okay? I've seen them in videos and stuff like that. So, I've shot the, what was it? The SIG MPX or whatever, their version of this kind of thing that costs twice as much, and I don't know, I didn't shoot it suppressed, and people say it has a lot of back gas issues and stuff like that. I don't know. This thing doesn't. I could just sit here and shoot targets all day, and there's no gas comes out here. It all comes out up here, blows away from your face. It's no big deal. So I don't know. I'd have to shoot it, the other one suppressed, to see if I really like it better than this one, but so far I have no issue with this, except for the little safety hoochie mapucker that digs into your finger. I still don't know why they do that. Another semi-issue that I fixed to the mags. The 20-round mags that came didn't really have this issue. And 30-round mags, if you sand this part down just a little bit, they don't want to fall out free. Alright, so when you first get them, some of them do, I don't know, some of them don't. I don't know, because these are the only ones I've ever had. But once you sand it down just a hair, it will freely come in and out without any issue. I'm trying to think. I think that's about it. I already talked about the light. Run your suppressor. I'll do a separate video on this. I have held off on it for a while because I wanted to run on a bunch of different guns, but this suppressor has been interesting, let's say it that way. Alright, it's good for some things, it's horrible and crap for some other things. But I think that the optic, I kind of talked about that. I'm going to put the Holliston on here at some point. This is good for now, but I'll put the Holliston on there. The brace, whatever you want to call it, is working fine. And we'll do more videos on this later after I've actually put enough bullets through it and enough time and whatnot has gone on that I can actually have a educated opinion. Because right now it's just, you know, when you buy a new toy, you always want to say it's the best thing in the world to justify having bought it. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed that. Y'all be good, you be safe. We'll see you in the next video.